Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your host with the most, King Gio in the house. I want to say thank you to those who have subscribed and those who have not subscribed. Yo, subscribe. Hit that bell right there, and it'll notify you when I, King Gio, have uploaded a video. Okay? So today, I'm going to talk to you about, it's going to be Puppy 101. Or Puppies 101, but in this particular case, Puppy 101. Okay? So, here is my little baby. Okay? Her name is Perla, like a pearl, but in Spanish, Perla. She's half Shih Tzu and half Chihuahua. All right. So when you get your dog, right, make sure that you get your dog at least from 8 weeks and up. And the reason you get it 8 weeks and up is because this gives them enough time to get weaned from their mom. Now, whether you like big puppies, small puppies, it's all, everybody has a different preference. You gotta consider about a lot of things if you have kids. If you have kids, kids have a tendency when they play, we have young children have a tendency, babies, stuff like that, they have a tendency to pull on the ears and to grab them. And they're dogs, they either growl or they like to bite. They don't like to bite, but they're defending themselves because they're thinking that they're being mistreated. So you have to be considerate of that. So 8 weeks and up, this way the puppy can be weaned off mommy. When you bring them to the house, it's very important that that you make your puppy feel as comfortable as possible. I'm trying to give them a place where you can get where he or she can be warm. Because they like to, when they go to sleep, they like to feel that, they like to feel that warmth, and they think that's their mommy. So they always go to a warm place. So if you get like a little crate, like I have this right here. See, like this right here. She's inside here. She mostly sleeps here now. But that's just for like another week or so. So she gets comfortable because there's a lot of things that you have to learn when you get a puppy. Puppies, they love to play. They love to play. But when they're puppies, what they mostly do is sleep. They sleep. So if you can, play with them during the day, and boom, after that they'll go right to sleep. And right before you're about to go to sleep, play with them a little bit again. Give them 5 or 10 minutes of playtime, and boom, once they go to sleep, they're out. When you go feed your puppy, do not feed your puppy Alpo. Don't feed them anything that has any byproducts in it. Please don't do that. That's a no-no. Get them as natural of dog food as you possibly can, either whether it's beef or chicken. Don't have no chicken byproduct, no nothing. That's no good for a puppy. When you get yourself a puppy, make sure you get yourself a puppy. If you get it through adoption, you go to your HPCA or to your animal shelter. That's good. I always recommend that you adopt puppies or cats or whatever. And give them a home. Because they got these kill shelters and stuff like that. And if you're gonna buy a puppy, you make sure that you buy a puppy from a reputable person. Make sure that you don't buy a puppy and they say, "Oh, listen, we'll meet halfway," or "Let's do this," or "Send me the money," or "Let's better yet, send me the money and I'll ship the puppy to you." No, that's a scam. But you gotta make sure that you get the puppy that you like, because puppies love to chew a lot. So you gotta give them different kind of toys so they can play with. That helps them with their teeth. That helps them with a lot of things. It helps them develop it helps them develop skills, and it keeps them active. As they're growing older, you have to keep them even more active. Because when they get older, you want all that. If you keep them inside the house, all that energy, it stays inside with them. So they have to release that energy. So when they're puppies, you make sure that it's very important that when you're in a house train them, that we feed them. I like to feed them between 3 times a day. But after a certain hour, I'd say maybe 6, 7 o'clock, don't feed them at all. Because if you feed them after that, and then you're gonna have to, what you want to do as you're training your pup, you want to make sure that you can see your pup where he or she is doing the necessity. Always pick a spot where he or she can know to go to that spot, because you know they're very territorial. So if you don't teach him or her to go to your puppy to go to a spot, they're gonna go all over the place. So you could put either paper, you can put whatever, newspaper, whatever you want, maybe. And you make sure that once you feed your puppy, you make sure that you watch your puppy, you know, closely. Make sure that you know where when he or she goes to that spot, you know at what time. So if after feeding time, if that puppy goes to the bathroom a minute later, then you know, or 5 minutes later, or 10 minutes later, or 20 minutes later, then you know. Then you can time that puppy. Right, you can time him. You know, you can time your puppy. I'm not too big crate training, so what I do is, and this is gonna be this week, right? So the next following week, next Friday, I'll start taking her outside. Between 8 weeks, I'll be taking the 12th week. It's 8 weeks. Oh no, I'm gonna get with 2 more weeks. Sorry. Then I start taking her outside. Once you start taking your puppy outside, make sure you have yourself a bag. So when your puppy does number 2, you can pick up the bag and throw it away, and you dispose it in your house, on your garbage can in your home. So whenever you go train your puppy outside, even if you train your puppy inside, always make sure that when your puppy does number 2, you give the puppy a treat, because what puppy will know that if the puppy knows that they have to do number 2 here, they get a treat. That's not, you know, that's just to train them. That's not going to always happen, but at the beginning, even if you want to go outside, and they go to the bathroom, and you go, oh, that's a good girl. And you go treat them, give them a treat, so they know. You know, sometimes you gotta tell them no. You know, sometimes you gotta tell them no, and don't, and they'll know. What I do, I don't know if the other trainers do it, but what I do is when I train my dogs and they go to one spot and they go to the spot, I take them right there at the moment. As I'm watching, I go, no, and they like climb up. Or if they're doing it at that moment, I make sure that I turn the puppy around, and I put them and say, that's a no. That's a no. And they'll know. After a certain amount of no's, after a certain amount of no, they will know. But also the same way that you tell them no, you gotta tell them, you know, when you go, that's a good boy, that's a good girl. So they know, you know, okay, I don't go outside into the house, but I go outside. I can do it outside the house. And I had dogs that would never take. I would go to work and would never do anything inside the house until I got home. You know, that's the way I trained them. So you got to treat your puppy, and you got to remember one thing: once you get your puppy's gonna have a baby, it's going to cry a lot. So you got to make sure that you know when your puppy's crying because it wants food, or your puppy's crying because he or she wants to get out of wherever you put your puppy at. You know, it's always good to start a puppy off with a room. See this room right here? That would have been, it's my wife's puppy. I'm trying to teach her, but I would keep her in this room. Keep her in this room so she can know basically how to go to places, right? But you gotta pick a room in your house that you want your puppy to go to. If you're not gonna take her outside, to do it inside the house. And then after you do it inside the house, then you do it outside. I personally prefer outside. But if you cannot go outside for whatever reason it may be, then you want to keep her inside, then you get her the pads. You get your puppy the pads. And let your puppy know that, you know, when they do number 2 or number 2, that's when they got to do number 1 or number 2. I suggest most of the time that if you can find a place where you can put her and the puppy's not going to do anything, you make sure if you get, you know, with a chain and you tie her up close, you tie her up there, so when the puppy goes do their number 1, number 2, that pad is right there, so they know, you know, I can do here. You go, oh, that's a good girl, so they know. So when you take off the chain and they go to that, and they go around the house and they have to go to the bathroom, they go straight to that pad. So, you know, and you give them a treat. Always give your dog a treat. Let your dog know that it's a good boy, it's a good girl, they're doing a good thing, daddy loves them, mommy loves them, and stuff like that. You know, so after on the 18th week, on the 16th week, I'm sorry. Then you take your puppy outside. Then you walk your puppy outside, and make sure that, you know, as they're growing, as they're getting older, you give your dog exercise. Exercise is good for your dog, and like I said, try to make the food for your puppy or for your dog who's growing already as natural as possible because it's better for the dog. It's very important also that you get your dog spayed or neutered, depending on it. If you're not going to breed. So we just, I don't believe in that. Oh, I want to see I want to see my puppy. I want to see my dog have baby. I want to feel motherhood. No. They only feel motherhood at that specific moment when they have the puppies and when they watch them grow. And after that, they feel no motherhood at all. After you take them away, it's like they never had one. But because they act on instinct, so they know when their motherhood kicks in when they give birth. If you have your puppies and you have a kitten, I mean, it's also a good idea to integrate your puppy with your kitten. So at least when they get older, they know who they are. So the cat doesn't have to hiss and the dog doesn't have to go after the cat. Or the cat doesn't have to go after the dog because it happens that way. So that's one good way to integrate puppies. I will do another video on how you integrate a dog to your clan or to your pride, or whatever you want to call it, because that's very important when you have a dog and you bring another dog inside the house. But these are puppies, so they're puppies, they're nothing. So make sure that your puppy is at least 12 weeks old. Make sure that if you get it from someone that has no fleas, that when they do their poop, you may think it's nasty, but when they do their poop, make sure that you look in their poop that there's no worms, no tapeworms, nothing like that, no ringworms, none of that. So you don't have to take them to the vet. Then after on the 8th week, on the 12th week, if that person hasn't given the vaccination shot, go to your veterinarian. Let your veterinarian give the first shot, and then you go for a booster. Depending on how long how in between it goes. I mean, from 12 weeks. I don't know how. Maybe 3 weeks after. I think it's 3 weeks after they get another booster. It's not expensive. I took my son's cat the other day, and it was $65 for the checkup, for the shot, so it was not bad. But at least where I live at, so I don't know where you guys are at. It could be different, but it's important that you keep your puppy up to date with the shots. Do not give them candy. Don't give them chocolate. Don't think it's human. Don't give them none of that. And also when you get a puppy, try not to put your puppy too much in your bed because they get enamored with that, and then when they get big, they become lazy. And then when you have a puppy, you're always carrying them. When when they cry and stuff like that, don't try to carry them too much because they get used to that. Then they'll know that all I have to do is cry, mommy and daddy are gonna pick me up. They're like babies. They're human babies. They really are. But while they're a puppy, all you gotta do is make sure they eat healthy food. Make sure that you don't feed them. You don't overfeed them. Take a set time to not to feed them at nighttime after a certain time, because the first thing you do, as they're growing up, the first thing you do when you wake them up, boom, you take them to the bathroom. You take them to the number 1 or number 2. Okay. You can when you're training your puppy, you can do 2 things. You can take your puppy off to a walk during the morning, and then give her food to eat, or you can give her food to eat and then wait a while, then take her outside and give your puppy a walk outside. So it's all up to you how you do it, but you gotta be very attentive to your puppy. You make sure you give her a lot of love. They like to play a lot. They spend most of the time, they spend between 16 and 18 hours a day sleeping. At 12 weeks, 13 weeks, and then as they start getting older and bigger, and then they'll sleep less, and they just, if you want to get a dog tired, all you gotta do is play with it. Play with your dog for 5 or 10 minutes, and the dog to be pooped out. That's always good when you walk in with your dog. You have your dog do a little exercise. You run with your dog a little bit. So all the energy that has built inside, it goes out. It's not built in. So when the dog comes back in the house, your dog's gonna be all pooped out. Like, it's just gonna go to sleep. But you make sure that you get the puppy. Make sure that if you have kids, make sure that your kids will be putting on the ears and the mouth, because a dog can snarl, a dog can bite your child innocently. Because they don't mean to. But other than that, take care of your puppy. Make sure that you get your puppy reputable from. If you're gonna buy it from the street, you're gonna buy it from someone that's a person who's reputed, who is known for selling dogs. Do not buy on the internet saying they're gonna be shipped to you. Don't do that. That's a scam. Take your dog to the vet. save up a little money, you know. So because dogs, you know, animal vet is very expensive. They're very expensive. So you gotta make sure you do that. So good food. Play with your dog as much as you can during the day. Let it rest during the afternoon. Give the puppy some food, and time. Even if you stay there, time it, and see how long does it take your dog to do number one, number two. And if you have a camera and the dog is in the room, so it's even better because you can watch the camera. You can see when you fed the dog, and then at what time your dog took a poop. Did number one, number two. So you know in between. Okay, so my dog eats at this time, and half an hour later, my dog is gonna do his own thing or her own thing. So now you have a time. Now you have a set time when you can feed your dog and when you cannot feed your dog. Like I said, do not overfeed your dog. These dogs that they get, I rescued a bulldog, and I never overfed my bulldog. I gave my bulldog natural food. I gave him dog food, but I gave him once a month. I used to give him raw salmon. He used to eat it. And my dog, if you look at my Facebook page, my bulldog, I called him Jack Sparrow because when I rescued him, he had one eye. He had mane, he had everything. The dog was abused. And I brought him, he was like this, stock, but he was not fat. If he weighed 50 pounds, it was a lot. And because I don't like my dogs too big. I want my dog to be like athletic, you know. So I don't overfeed the dog. So don't overfeed your dog. Don't overfeed your cat. It's not good for them. It's not good for their bones. It's not good for their, you know, it's not good. Well, it's not good overall for them. So if you can feed them a natural cost a lot of money, but at least you're going to be having a healthy dog that's going to last you a long, long time. All right, that's what you want to do. So guys and girls, thank you very much. I won't pick her up now because she's sleeping, but thank you guys. I appreciate it. Just hit that button again, that bell, and it'll notify you when I upload a video. And thank you. Peace out. You see my hats. I'm going to start collecting more hats. I'm going to have hats here. I'm going to have hats on that wall too. And that's it. Well, guys, thank you very much. And don't forget that I start doing Students Tuesdays on Tuesdays for politics. And I do have Cash App now. I'm not Cash App. I have Super Chat. So when I go online, I go live, you guys can donate if you guys want. And God bless you. The car is coming up great, long. So thank you guys. So guys, Puppy 101. Then later on, as she gets older, I will do another video on dogs so you can see how I take my dog out, how I train my dog. You know, because I could train a dog. I used to have a pit bull. I trained it whenever you want. Even if you want like this to me, when bites you go. You know, I don't train dog to bite. I just train dog to do number one, number two, to do it outside, and that's it. The rest I do it. I do it naturally. And the one thing that I do is that I did this in Puerto Rico, and because people have a habit of touching your dog, and I don't like that. So what I did when I was in Puerto Rico, I taught my dog only English. My dog only understood English. Never spoke to my dog in Spanish, because I knew that someone was going to go. Because I used to go to work and I used to leave my dog outside in this little hut, and you know, with his food, everything was in the shadows. So don't worry about it. Never got sun. So then a little bit down, maybe 100 feet away, there was a guy who had a garage, and he used to work in his garage, and he had a helper. So I used to come home to work. I came home to work one day and he said, "Hey, Gio, I tried to touch your dog," and they snapped at me. And I said, "Well, that's good. He should have bit you. Because number one, I didn't give him permission to touch my dog. And number two, you shouldn't be talking to people. You shouldn't be touching other people's dog." You know, so my dog didn't understand Spanish at all. So if he must say, "Hey, vente," he would not know what he's saying. You know, so I try to keep, in a family, yeah, I can do that. I can do, let anyone in the family touch it. But when I go outside, I'm very picky who touches my dog. I don't want my dog to get too friendly with outsiders. You never know if I want my dog to like guard dog. If it hears the noise, it will let me know. I don't want them to intruding, and I don't want them to bite them. If you can bite them, great. But I don't want them to bite them. But I want them to let me know who's coming in or who's in, or let me know, what's something that's going on. Because when everybody touches them, they're like, "Oh, this is normal," So, but anyways, so that's what it is, guys. I hope this video helps you out. If you have any questions on food for your dog, for your puppy, please ask me. I'll get back to your emails, or I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I always respond very quickly. At least I try to. Everyone who knows King Gio and they leave me a message, I have to return it real quick. or in a few hours. But the most I take maybe is 5 or 10 minutes to get notified. And if I'm working, I'm not doing my lunch break, I do it then. Or if not, I'll find a place to notify you ASAP. So guys, that's it. Enjoy your day. God bless. And stay safe.